Good morning or afternoon, I guess. Well, it's noontime anyway. How you doing, my YouTube friends? I'm here today. I'm making a video about where I live. It's a seniors complex. I think I've mentioned maybe, or may say it again. 55 and over. I moved here 5 years ago now, and it's a nice place. But I also want to point out a few things that maybe if you watch this video you might need to think about when you're looking for a place to live. If you're disabled or of course as we grow older, excuse me, all of our mobility tends to become compromised. So I'd like to just show a few things around, and I'm pointing out a few things. There's the apartments, you want to make sure to look. Here we have a variety. Some have just ramps that you can run right up to your apartment door on a slope. Others have sometimes one or several steps. And of course, if you have issues, that may be a problem, just even getting to your apartment if there's steps up to the patios or up to the door landing, whatever it may be. So those are things to consider. If you look right behind me over here today, there's a rose garden. It's January, so it's just been pruned. It's very nice in the summer. When the roses are all blooming, it's very attractive. But they just recently pruned them also. Maybe in a future video I'll come back when all the roses are in bloom and kind of show you around. There's a lot of variety there. It's interesting. Some of the other things, I'll show you the amenities we have here, such as the different the swimming pool, craft centers and things that we have here that we can use. Of course, during the pandemic, our management shut everything down, and that's one thing you need to be careful on your lease. I know it's extenuating, but basically on our leases that we sign, it's 35 pages long, which I don't think is, I think that's ridiculous, but basically it says the use of the amenities is not guaranteed. Management can, as necessary, shut the amenities down to the tenants here, which is kind of a bummer, which they do occasionally. Like right now, some of the rooms up front, the art room and where the ceramics are, and one of the, what's called the lounge, where we get together and just kind of hang out as a group, the heaters don't work. And we've been saying for months now, at least 2.5, 3 months, that we need heat in those rooms. But so far, we get no response from our management. So don't be afraid to check on the places you're looking for reviews. I know that Yelp or some of the other websites out there, you can actually find reviews on different apartment complexes, and while some will be real positive, some may be more honest about what you're getting yourself into if you really decide to come to these places. So with that, I'll go ahead and start up by the front entrance and make a video, tour you around of some of the things that we have here. So come on along for, in my case, the ride, since I'm in a power wheelchair. Here we are at the entrance to our complex, senior complex. It's a 55 and over adults community. This is the gate that comes in off a very busy street. There is a bus stop here where we can get rides by the public transit. And also they have a little check-in place for the guards where at night they don't let just anybody come in here. I'm here at the swimming pool area where I live. This pool area is for your tenants. Let me show you around. We have this little fountain as you come in. This is our pool. There's a ramp on the other side there that is ADA compliant, so that's how those of us that can maybe not handle the steps into the pool can walk down a ramp. So it's really nice. This was upgraded about 6 years ago. It is heated year-round, or supposed to be. Over there is a jacuzzi again that also has a accessible ramp. Over here we have a little cabana, covered cabana that has some tables to eat at.
Hey, son. There you go.
And we have these nice gas barbecues and a fire pit with a bench around it. I've never seen that actually in use, but I guess you can use it. Anyway, that's one of the amenities here. Over here on the left side, we have a series of rooms. This first room here is a gym. They recently upgraded some of the equipment in there. So the treadmills, stationary bicycles, punching bag, some weightlifting equipment, things like that. So I know it's used by some people. This next room that is on my left is a sewing craft room, where they have people that do quilting, sewing, things like that. This next room was a art room where there's painting and drawing. The next room here, I'm not going to go into the rooms, but this is where we do the ceramic class that I teach. And I'll have some videos about ceramics coming up. And so we do our ceramics in there. And this last room in this row is a billiard room. It's got a dartboard, 2 billiard tables, and people can come and play pool. Now these rooms, all the tenants have a key that will allow them to go in. They are closed up from 10 at night till I think 6 in the morning. But other than that, you can use them. We also, as we walk down here on the right, is a ballroom where they put on once in a while. It's been a while because of COVID, but we have Valentine's dance coming up. On the left side here is called a fellowship hall, where the churches meet for Bible study and services. And then we have a little patio area here. And this just kind of continues. So this is kind of a community area down here. There's a lounge area, there's restrooms, there's a card table room down there. And this first door here is a senior office where our activities director has his place where he stays and plans things with people. Okay, this is coming up to our little leasing office where the property managers are. Hi. Of course, they always keep this very nice and decorated with the flowers and the grass. Of course, they do that everywhere. This also, they actually have a handicap button over here so the door will open for us that need it. The only place in the whole place that does that, where we can easily get in. Of course, they want us to come here and pay our rent, so I guess that's why they make it so easy to get our money. And here we have the beginning of our golf course. So as you can see there, it's mostly par 3. I think there might be a par 4, 1 or 2. There's 9 holes, but it wanders through the apartments. And they have clubs men's golf club, women's golf club, things like that, so people can play golf if that's what they like. Another one of our more than not compliant ADA ramps that kind of dump you in the middle of the street here rather than at a crosswalk. Of course, there's nothing across the street to go to. Here I am waiting for a van that's backing out without even looking. I just stopped to keep from getting hit. This is one of the gazebos that I'm coming up to. There's several of these scattered around the community. They were about falling down, so they had to redo them a couple years ago, put new roofs and everything on them. They did put some new furniture. They put in this charcoal barbecues. They won't let us have our own barbecues here. And as you can see here, we're kind of back at the edge of the golf course. As you can see, we actually have some nice views here in open areas, which is nice. If you live on the open green belts like this or golf course, you actually pay more for your apartment, which is, I couldn't afford to pay an extra $25 just to look at some grass. I can't play golf, but this is one of my nice spots that I like to look at because the mountains up there, hopefully they'll show up. Let me tilt up. They actually have a little bit of snow. It snowed a few days ago, and they were wider, but there's still a few snow packs still showing up there. Right now, maybe you've heard on the news, there's an actor that went hiking on the top of that mountain. It's been missing now for, I think, about a week, and they're searching but haven't found him yet. Okay, I'm going to show you one of the things that I have to put up with, anybody in a wheelchair or walker puts up with, is these steep ramps. And as you come down them, I'm going to go real slow, it exceeds the ADA requirements, and as we get to the bottom here, you're going to see I'm going to get hung up. Okay, I can't go anywhere. My wheelchair's stuck. I'm stuck on the asphalt because it's uneven. So then I have to back up, lift up my foot rest where it's hung up, which means my feet are not on my wheelchair anymore. And then I can slowly proceed into the street. Now, as you can see across from me, there's no ramp. The nearest ramp is either down that way, or actually it's a couple hundred yards that way if I want to cross the street and get back on a sidewalk. So they just dump you out in the middle of the street. Okay, I'm videoing this right now because they are in the process of converting bedrooms into more apartments. Half the people that live here that had 2-bedrooms apartments were not really given much option. When their leases came due, they had to either give up to their 1-bedroom or pay for an upgrade to move into another 2-bedroom. And they really didn't even get a discount on their rent when they lost a room because they did it at the same time as their lease was renewed. So say they were paying $1,300 for a 2-bedroom. Most of them pay more than that, I think. So they would say, okay, we're going to give you a $100 discount since you're only going to be a 1-bedroom. So now the payment would be $1,200, except now that the rent is going to increase because it's a new lease. So they end up paying another $1,300 or whatever. They raise the rent. So ultimately they're paying the same rent, but have one less bedroom, and their apartment's a good 150 square feet smaller. It's either that or move out. They don't give you any options. The noise construction and the debris, as you can see, they leave their lunch bags and garbage all over the place. You can see all the dirt and the ruts that are over here. They tear up the sprinkler systems, the ruts, their cars, trucks that just make a mess. They don't clean it up. They just leave it. really annoying. Okay, I know this one will stick me every time going the other direction, but it kind of hangs me up a little bit. We're coming up on another construction. You'll hear the noise. They leave their junk all over the sidewalk that we have to go around. Half the time, they even use their trucks to block the sidewalk, so those of us that have mobility issues can't even get around them, which I almost want to say I think is a violation of our rights. And we have to live with the noise. From 7 in the morning till 7 at night is what they tell us they can work. Most old people don't like waking up at 7, I guess. This is the next apartment here that is going to be starting soon. Actually, they already started on it. They went in a couple days ago and did the asbestos removal that they had to do in there. They're required to do that. The problem is, in the process of demolitioning, the apartments on each side of it, them, and there's 2 more on the other side. Anything that gets jarred loose in their apartment, guess what? It's asbestos. It ends up on the ground or in the air in their apartments. So they're protecting the workers, but they're not protecting the people that live next door. There have been a couple lawsuits over it, but I guess they settled or something because they haven't changed how they do it. Good afternoon. Here it is. It's another day. I'm back in the gazebo where I started this video. The reason I came back here is it's been raining the last couple of days. And so I went to the laundry room to do laundry. And the laundry room was full of people, so I'm just kind of waiting to pass the time and hopefully be able to do some laundry soon, since it's been raining. But I just want to do a conclusion to the video that I started and about where I live. Basically, I just kind of want to summarize today some of the things you need to look out for and be aware of when you're looking for an apartment as a senior or as a disabled person. I hope the wind is not interfering with the sound. I'll have to check on that later. But they just started the demolition of the 2 apartments I pointed out earlier. So it's very noisy down by my house. That's why I didn't record down there, because they're tearing out those apartments. But anyway, really need to check out before you decide and sign any leases. You know, I know it's a lot, but read through the lease. Make sure that you understand. Don't just rely on them to tell you what the lease says. You need to read through it yourself to fully understand what it is you're signing up for, because I guarantee you most leases are in favor of the property management company or owners, whatever it is. They're not going to be for your benefit, from my experience. Something else to be aware of is look around the facility. Don't rely on them to even tour you. You need to go and check it out. Drive through if it's a big complex. Look at the different areas. See how the areas away from the leasing office are being maintained. That kind of tells you a lot. You know, when I was looking at this place, of course, they didn't give me a full tour. They said they didn't have time. And if I would have known better, I probably should have spent more time driving around myself looking. Like I say, it's not a bad place, but there's just some drawbacks. As I mentioned, you need to be, if you're in a wheelchair or walker, things like that, look at where they have ramps, if they even have ramps, for you to get out of your apartment, go to the parking lot or carport, whatever it is. Is it accessible? Is it something that's going to be hazardous for you to try and maneuver? In my case, with being in a power chair, I can't even get up a normal curb, so I have to have the ramps. Here, the ramps are not designed, or were never ADA compliant. And of course, they claim that's not an issue. They don't have to do anything about it. You know, look very carefully when you look in your apartment or the model they show you. You know, how easy is it going to be for you to get around inside that apartment? Are you going to have access where you need access? Are there grab bars in the bathroom? Maybe, if you need those. Are the doors wide enough for you to go from room to room? Just things like that to be aware of. So, you know, ask if you can, if you happen to see somebody that's already living there, maybe ask them some questions. You know, what's their utility bills each month? Just to help you with your budget. Again, don't rely on the management to tell you the truth, because personally my experience was they had no idea what the utilities were here. And it's turned out they're running quite a bit more than what I was told they would be. So, again, just be careful. You know, you want to find somewhere, you know, it's not easy to move. So you want to find somewhere that's not going to just be stuck somewhere for a year and want to have to move. Because as you know, it's not easy to move, finding help to move, paying somebody to help you move can get very expensive. You know, ask about, look around and ask, is there going to be any construction projects within the facility? Just things like that. You know, there's been extenuating circumstances because of COVID, although we're past that now. But it seems like they've used that as an excuse to not bring back things that they used to have that were provided in the form of different amenities and things like that. They're just not providing them anymore here. Even though COVID restrictions are completely over, you know, we're still having to put up with that. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know the summaries and just kind of some of my experiences here, things I've had to deal with here. Overall, the people, the tenants are really nice here. I get along with I've made a lot of friends. So I enjoy that part of being here. It's just sometimes management here is difficult to deal with. And of course, like I say, be careful on what you sign in the lease. Look it over, make sure you understand. You know, you can ask questions, but you need to read it in details. What does the lease say about certain things? Very important. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. I'd really like you to subscribe to my channel. You know, it'll help me eventually to be able to do some more videos about where I live. Not just where I live, but the surrounding area. I want to do some kind of traveling videos of sightseeing things in the area that, as a senior, there's still things you can get out and do and see. So I kind of want to explore that a little bit. Maybe going on some road trips for weekends, things like that. Just get you an idea of what you can do, even though maybe you don't feel you're as able to, but if you really want to make an effort, there's things you can do. I've got several more videos planned that I'm working on that I hope will be a combination of encouragements. I want to start doing some of my artwork and videoing it. Some of the ceramics and pottery things I do. I want to start showing that I've had to figure out new techniques being limited mobility compared to what I used to be able to do, but I can still do them and have enjoyment. So I just want to be encouraging to those of us that, especially that are having to deal with strokes that we never anticipated, or whatever form the handicaps may come in. But I just want to say God bless you all, and like my channel, or subscribe to my channel if you can. Like this video, and keep watching, and I'll have more to come. Thanks for everything. Thanks for coming along with me. Goodbye.